And we are live. Welcome everybody. We're just gonna get a few things started across the channels, but if you're watching this at a later date, welcome. If you're watching this live, welcome to you. Man, we've got a fun live stream ready for today. Let me just get some things set. In the meantime, please let me know where you're watching from, your city, state, your country. I'm just, let's see. All right, there we go. We are live. Welcome everybody. So once again, my name is David Garibaldi. We're just getting some things turned on right here. We're broadcasting this across all my channels. First, want to welcome all of my Garibaldi Arts Club members. You're part of my group chat. You're a very special group of people to me, and we've got a big giveaway for you. So before we kick any of this off, if you want to enter to win the painting that we're giving away, I just shared a picture of it, or I think we just shared a picture of it in the Arts Club of the painting we're giving away. It's a 6-foot by 5-foot painting. So there's a link in my bio or the description on all my channels to enter to win. In the meantime, yep, we're gonna get a picture of it up. In the meantime, I'm gonna read some of the comments, so you let me know where you're watching from and where are you at? How's it going? Let me do some shout outs real quick. La Cañada, California, I see you. I like the hello to, let's see, I see Clearwater, Florida, welcome. I'm just gonna go through some of these comments. All right, once again, my name is David Garibaldi. We are kicking off this live stream. We're big day, big giveaway. I'm painting Post Malone as well, which I'm excited about. I hope you are too, a new Post Malone. And all right, we'll get back to those. Where are you at? Before we get started, where are you watching from? Let me know where you're watching this from, your city, state, country. We're gonna start this painting in just any moment. Before we get started, if you are watching, the best way to support this is to just tap the hearts, to share it as well. Share it out to your community, wherever you are. Let's get this started. If you can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. I think you can because you've been shouting out your city, your state, your country. All right, let me pull up this chat. There we go. Yeah, sometimes launching these live streams feel like we're like launching a rocket ship sometimes. All right, let me shout out the comment on TikTok, 072027 Junior. Oh, there's a senior. Awesome. Hello to you as well. All right, we're gonna kick this off soon. Let me just read some of these comments. There we go, chat. Okay, Jordan Escamilla, as always, Fort Garland. I hope you enjoyed your print that I sent you. You won the giveaway. Teddy Boyd, thanks for watching. Love it. All right, we got all the comments up. I see a lot of thumbs up. Let me just press record on one more thing. There we go. Okay, TikTok. Let's get this going. I'm about to start the painting of Post Malone right now. Before we do, just share this live stream, hit the hearts, just so I know you're ready for me to start this painting. Usually the paintings, and we'll have to fix it later. Usually the paintings take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes on the live streams, but also in between the painting, I come back and chat with you as well. So just keep those hearts going. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know your city, your state, your country. Just checking all these comments. All right, well, let's just kick this off. We're gonna do a giveaway before the end of this live stream. So if you wanna enter to win, there's a link in my bio to join my Circles group chat. If you're part of my Garibaldi Arts Club already, you're already entered to win. Otherwise, you can just definitely enjoy this experience. I'll be painting Post Malone over this live stream. Let's see, I see Bronx, New York. Appreciate the love. I think it's Chava. I see Ariel in Florida. Zane in the 916. I see West Tennessee. That's Josh on TikTok. Awesome. Thank you. Keep those comments going. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. I'll answer them in between the painting. But first, let's kick off this painting. Shout out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, let's go. Welcome, everybody. Let's start off. Let's get some brushes to work with. If you can hear me, just want to say hello. Welcome to the live stream. Ah, yes, music. Let's get that music back on, actually. Yeah. There we go. All right. Let's get this going. So today I'm painting Post Malone. This one, I like to kind of give him away sometimes, but this has been a portrait long overdue, one that I think he definitely deserves the love. If you've seen Post Malone live in concert, man, that dude is a rock star for sure. Music, energy, all the above. So we're gonna honor him with this portrait today. But while I'm painting, let me know if you have any questions. Just drop them below in the comments. And again, wherever you're watching this, the best way to support these live streams is just to share. Just share the live stream, share it in the DMs. It helps us grow this live stream. So right now, just doing some of the underpainting right now, some of the colors that I want to show through later on as I add more layers on top of this. You can keep letting me know in the chat where are you watching from. When I take a break from painting, I'll get back to the chat, read some of your questions. And then also, if you want to enter to win, we're going to give away that Morgan Wallen portrait. If you saw me do it last time on the live stream, that's the one we're going to give away, which I think is pretty awesome. And if you agree, you can join the Arts Club, the group chat, and enter to win. Post Malone is like every portrait artist's dream, by the way. It's like he has all the characteristics, he's got all the flair in his energy, his personality to paint, and so it's always one of my most favorite portraits. I'm actually going to be painting it live during my show in Fort Wayne, Indiana this weekend, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, so those of you that watch these live streams, if you didn't know, I do live shows, these live performances. We do about 100 different shows throughout the year, all across the world. Now, we do a lot of concerts, opening for artists, touring with artists, but also we do a lot of private events as well. So this weekend is one of them. All right, just laying down. The initial colors of this portrait. By the way, if there are any questions in the chat, I have someone here that's gonna help relay them to me. I'm trying to leave the canvas behind for some of the tattoos that are on his neck. So with this style, yes, we're painting, but we're also leaving behind a lot of the shadows, which are the canvas.
Karen said, how do you join the arts club? I want to support.
Great, so someone just asked, was it Karen?
Karen on Instagram.
Okay, so Karen on Instagram just asked, how do I join the arts club? It enters you to give the giveaway. There's a link in my bio to join my Circles group chat. So you can do this across any platform you're watching on. Hop on right now. There's a chat probably going on in there right now about the live stream, which is kind of cool. The other interesting thing, besides the tattoos on Post Malone's face, is the facial hair. You know, just trying to get that even mixture of texture in the facial hair, still trying to capture his face. Though you may think it's easier, believe it or not, there's a lot going on in this little area. But either way, I appreciate everyone. If you went back to school today, can you drop it in the chat so we can give you a shout out if you're back in school? If you started middle school, high school, college, if you went back to school, drop it in the chat. So I'm trying to leave behind some of these facial tattoos. I'll have to come back and draw some of them in, but I'm just leaving like just a little bit of, you can call it like a note on the canvas for myself to paint later, something that I leave behind. All right, let's wash these brushes down. We're gonna switch over to some thinner brushes. And then we're gonna come chat in just a little bit. Yeah, sometimes when I do these portraits of very expressive characters like Post Malone, on the outside, even I trick myself in the same thing, is I think it's gonna be easier than it actually is. And I say that easy as in like a very distinctive character, you know, in their face, in their expressions. But because there's so much character, sometimes you just realize like, oh wait, there's a lot to remember on this. For example, right now I'm working on the eagle tattoo. And I'm also trying to not exactly match the colors, but just give enough impression of some of the lines in the tattoo that are left as well. We'll come back, we'll clean that up. We're just getting started. Welcome again to anyone who's new, joining us.
How many times have you painted Post Malone?
Great question. So someone just asked, how many times have I painted Post Malone? I would say other versions of him I've painted a couple times. This is the first time ever I've painted this version of Post Malone, which is, you know, great because he just keeps reinventing himself. You know, he's just reinvents himself into, you know, who he's becoming, and that's why this is the first time I painted this version of it. Great question though. Actually, let's see. Yeah, there were so many different options to choose from of reference images. And I chose this one because I think it captures where he's at right now the best. The other thing I think about too is the lighting in the reference image, you know, how it casts on his face and how I can still translate that in the style, because again, I'm limiting the amount of colors that I'm using on the canvas. And sometimes in portraits, there's, I mean, multiple layers of light. And so this one, I'm like, what's the least amount of light that still represents who he is in this portrait? So again, I'm gonna leave a little bit of that canvas behind to give myself a note that there's a tattoo in this area. On this side of his face, I think it says tired. I can relate. So someone asked earlier, how do you join the Garibaldi Arts Club? So let me just share about that real quick. The Garibaldi Arts Club is a group of over now 1,000 people are part of this club. It's on the Circles app, so Circles with an S. And it's really the place where I wanted to set up a positive community of people who are into creativity and the arts. And also I share a lot of advice in there for artists. So I'm on there on a daily basis, but we do fun stuff like this. Like today, we're doing a giveaway of the Morgan Wallen portrait, which we'll show you in just a bit. Right now, just painting Post Malone. Where are you watching from? Where in the world are you? Let me know. Drop it in the chat. In probably about a minute, I'm gonna go read the chat. So if you have any questions, drop it in there right now. Portrait is coming to life. I like it. Let me turn this camera on. There we go. So one thing I'm doing right now too is I am also recording content that I post on TikTok or Instagram or across my channels. So if I step out of frame, I'm either getting paint or I'm moving the camera, setting that up, which I just did, to make sure that we're capturing all of this to post at a later date. Later date as in this weekend. So, all right, let's just do a couple more lines before I head back. All right. Cool, I'm gonna come read the chat, take a look at the painting before I get there. Headshot, welcome everybody. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm just gonna pick up my computer so I can read the chat. Welcome everybody on TikTok. As you can see, I'll give you a quick look. This is the painting coming to life of Post Malone. Continuing to bring that to life. So if you're here, welcome. I'll be bringing this portrait to life. We're just in the beginning stages. And also, if someone shared this live stream and that's how you ended up here, I just want to say thank you for taking the chance on this. I love going into rooms of people that don't know who I am because I get to earn every bit of respect from you. So I hope I can earn that for you throughout the rest of this live stream. Let me just shout out Uruguay watching on Instagram. I see Reno watching. Madi Bush 916, welcome.
Inside the Circles app, favorites, Post Malone or Morgan Wallen song.
What's that?
Your favorite Post Malone?
Oh, my favorite Post Malone and Morgan Wallen song. I mean, I Had Some Help. Like that's a classic one, yeah. But actually, there's some like really like B-side Post Malone songs that I love. Like I went to go see Post Malone live in Las Vegas and he walked out to the song called Texas Tea. Oh man, it was so fire. You wouldn't. It's like the intro to an album. Anyways, I love Post Malone. I love painting to his music. Obviously we can't have it right now because they would take it down. But I want to read some comments from TikTok. So if you have any questions right now and you're on TikTok, I'm just going to read some of your comments. Shout out to Baltimore watching. I see you. Keefe's Closet. Yes, Keefe's Closet. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for just being here and showing the love. Let's scroll, see some of the comments. Yeah, let's get those numbers up. But I do appreciate anyone who's been on here so far. So all you have to do to support these live streams, just share it and hit the hearts. And the more you interact and hit the hearts, the more it gets shared out to people. So just reading some comments before I get back to the painting. Let's go. All right. Someone said, saw you at the YV conference. Awesome. Thank you, Natasha. Appreciate it. All right. So keep those comments going. I appreciate it. I see you. And also, the inspiration today, Post Malone, but again, I just create portraits that I'm into their music. I enjoy it. And then obviously, if you've seen any of my content pieces, these portraits, we're creating one live right now. So you are part of the process. All right, let's get back to the painting. One quick note before I get back to this painting is you can enter to win the painting giveaway that we're doing before the end of this live stream. So there's a link in my bio for my Circles group chat. It's a creative, positive place that I go in on a daily basis. There's over 1,000 members just in my club, but there's a bunch of other groups that you can join on Circles. Again, that's Circles with an S. So if you want to enter to win today's painting giveaway, join the club. In the meantime, let's get back to the painting. Let's go. Let me move this camera. So I'm just off camera right now. If you can't see me, but you can hear me, I'm just setting up a camera so we can keep capturing this content that I'll be sharing in the next day or so. All right, let's add a little bit more highlights. I'm gonna brush off the tip of these brushes, go into this white, and I'm just gonna go along the rim of the portrait. And I'm just gonna add some highlights just so we have a really complete highlight from the white of the highlight to the black shadow of the canvas. And then my job is to do all the midtones that tell the story of the portrait on the canvas. The beauty of this process, and it just never ceases to amaze me, is this is just like an illusion on canvas. It's just information of color saying, hey, I want your eye and your brain to look at this object right here. All right, let's ditch these brushes and get some bigger ones. By the way, I want to shout out people like Jordan Escamilla, who's always watching these live streams on YouTube. I appreciate you. You're also in my Circles app as well. I know there's another one, Karen Pang, that watches a lot of my live streams. I believe she watches on YouTube and Twitch, so I appreciate you. Just want to share some love. All right, let's add some more texture to this beard. The mustache. This one, that's where these brushes really come in clutch. So these brushes, they're like $2 brushes that I get at, there we are, that I get at Hobby Lobby. And I'm able to get those really fine lines, but also those wide brush strokes as well. So I'm just putting in the initial layer of the texture for his beard. In the Circles chat? Yes. Awesome. So I just got word that there's a lot of chat happening in the Circles chat. By the way, if there's any questions that pop up in the Circles group chat, can you ask me those questions? So if you're watching, drop a question in there. So I'm just adding some of that texture to the beard of Post Malone. This portrait comes to life from beginning to end during the live stream. Everything's being done 100% live. So if you're tuning in right now and you're like, how did he get so much done? Well, I've been painting for the past, 20 minutes. So I just go back and forth between my right hand and my left hand, depending on what part of the painting. So if I turn my back to you, it's just because this is the side of my body that I'm most comfortable with painting the portrait. If you go watch any of my content, my portraits, they're all created this way. Each and every single one. Even though I could spend more time on these, I try not to spend too much time. I want to capture all this information in the moment. I'm just adding some highlights now from what I'm imagining, a light source coming from the left side of the canvas onto the face. And add a little bit of highlight back here, just so we have an indication of that part of his beard. Now, I'm gonna look at this later on and make touch-ups, but for now, we're just building this up piece by piece. So I'm curious, those of you watching right now, who should I paint for the next live stream? So this one was suggested in the comments of my most recent Morgan Wallen portrait. We're actually giving away that portrait today. So only to someone in my Circles group chat. But you let me know, what portraits would you want to see in the future? All right, let's keep this going. Let's move this. So I just stepped off camera real quick. I have another camera that's capturing this process. I'm gonna move it right here. So I just stepped off real quick to get this camera going. There we go. All right, let's add a little bit of detail into the facial tattoos. I'm gonna go a little bit closer in detail so we can add the saw. What else does he have? He's got a lot of decorations on his face. So let's get that camera. We're gonna set up another camera right off the live stream so you don't see me, but you can hear me. All right. Let's keep this going. So again, when I was painting earlier, I was leaving myself some notes. Now that note is leaving behind canvas, the black of the canvas, and it just lets me know where I need to add some details. Now they may not be super accurate right now, but I can always come back after the live stream, touch them up. But for right now, I want to get as much information as possible that says this is Post Malone. These are his tattoos. He's got this chainsaw tattoo on his face. By the way, shout out to any of the artists out there watching this. Shout out to you. I know how hard this is to come up with your ideas, to get them on canvas, you know, to also deal with the doubt that comes along with being an artist. That's normal. So if you feel doubt as you create, keep working through it. Here's the goal. Here's the goal of any artist. You want to create so much that you know what it feels like to work through doubt. That's pretty much what trusting the process is. Because as an artist, you're constantly bogged down by doubt, not only from yourself, but also a lot of outside sources. So the more that you create, here's the thing too, you can create bad stuff. I have a studio full of a ton of bad paintings. Not everyone is great, but here's what those tell me, is if I work through those, even if they're bad, I know later I'll build this confidence of just trusting the process, getting through to the other side and just completing it. So it's okay if your art's not a masterpiece. Not all of my art is a masterpiece. The point is just create, work through it, trust the process. And the more you do that, the more confidence you build in that process. All right, let's get that tired tattoo on his face. And the other side says always tired. All right. I'm gonna add a little bit of, eyelash. Something you may see later on. All right, now let's go work on, let's move this. So we're gonna move this camera, this one that's off stream. You don't see me right now, but you can hear me. Just setting up a camera to capture a video of me working on the tattoos in his neck. All right. By the way, if you follow me and you don't already have your notifications on so you get notified when I do these live streams, definitely turn your notifications on. That way you won't miss the live stream. I always post in my group chat when I'm going live. But for whatever reason, wherever you are, just turn the notifications on and you won't miss any of this. It's got this wild neck tattoo. All right, let's do this. Let's just get a little paint. Let's just, I know Bob Ross had happy little trees. We've got happy splatters. That's what this is. Let's see. All right, we're gonna ditch these brushes. We're gonna keep filling in. We'll start with the cowboy hat up top. It's coming along pretty good. It's coming along pretty good. Yeah, thanks, man. But no, let me know, what do you guys think in the chat? What do you think of the Post Malone portrait? Matter of fact, how about this? The winner today, I'm gonna give the choice. The winner for the giveaway today, we're giving away an original painting, and I'm gonna let you choose between the Post Malone painting portrait or the Morgan Wallen portrait. And if you don't know what the Morgan Wallen looks like, go on any of my channels, you'll see that portrait. It went pretty wild, so. All right, let's ditch that. Let me get this other camera. I am multitasking quite a bit. All right, I'm just gonna point this other camera at his hat. There we go, and we're just gonna capture that process. If you are an artist and you're watching this, just drop a paint emoji in the chat so we know who you are. All right. So we're just adding the first layer of the hat. I'm always thinking about depth. So the thing is with this painting process is we're giving the illusion that there's an object here. And the way to achieve that is to understand where the light source is coming from. We gotta, and as we put the paint on the canvas, that's the information that tells the viewer, you, or whoever sees this, the volume of that object. And you know, I won't get it right the first brush stroke, but the beauty of paint is once it dries, you can come back and add some more. So we're gonna keep adding layers to this. I'm gonna add a little tint of brown into the next layer. So again, I imagine the light source coming from this way, so this side of the hat's gonna be darker. And the thing is, you don't need a lot of layers to give the illusion of volume on an object. But you just need enough. I mean, if you were to just simplify it, a light mid-tone and shadow. But for me, I think you really find the beauty in the midtones. The midtones are like the step just under the brightest highlight and right above the darkest shadow. And if you can give more information in the midtones, you are like a magician artist. The other thing it shows too, and the viewer won't know this, but they're gonna feel this. When you give a lot of information within the midtones of the painting, this is what you're telling them. You're telling them you're observant. You're observant of the world, you're observant of light sources, you're observant of the reference image. And ultimately, the more observant you are, it reflects in your art, and when it reflects in your art, the higher value you as an artist grow in. So keep that in mind and keep asking yourself, how can I become more observant? Now, I had to learn this lesson of being observant throughout many, many, many years and many mistakes of, let's just call them, not great paintings. But I had to be observant of not just the good stuff, but also my mistakes as well. And that is where I became a better artist. It wasn't in getting it right the first time and being perfect. Becoming a better artist came from being observant of my mistakes, knowing what to improve for the next time. All right, so if you have enough room on your wall for this Post Malone, we're doing a giveaway. Only way to enter is to be a part of my arts club. There's a group chat. There's a link in my bio to join my circles group chat. If you really want to show some love for the live stream, just share it. Just hit the hearts. Let the algorithm know that you think it's cool, and then they'll let other people know that it's pretty cool and they should check it out. Let's go get a little bit more highlights. Get that highlight on the rim of the hat, all the way down, a little light coming from the back. All right. Now let's have some fun with the background, because I do like how it's popping out from the back. Before I make that decision, let's go to the chat and let's read some of the comments. So I'm gonna come your way. Stop this. Okay, chat, how are we doing? Let's see, right here, I'm back, welcome. All right. Thank you again to everyone just showing love on the chat. Underground Reefer, thank you very much for the love. Also, thank you, yeah, the live stream. So by the way, we haven't done a live stream in a week because I've been trying to set up this new look for the TikTok audience. Everyone else has been getting this, so everyone's been pretty spoiled, they just don't know it. All right, let me do some shout outs. Art by Ianka. Ayinka. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but shout out to you. Just reading some of the comments. So someone asked, Tira asked, how long does it take you to do the Print of Darkness Ozzy Osbourne? So the Ozzy Osbourne portrait that you've seen was done during a live stream just like this. So I would say, aside from reading the comments during the live stream, it probably took 20 minutes to do that one. I really took my time on that. Typically, throughout the live streams, most of the time is spent doing this. Angel Maiden Moon, thank you very much. Appreciate the love. 12 Margie, thank you. Brian Yepes, thank you, brother. Appreciate the love. Someone said, I saw you painting live in Davos at the Female Quotient World Economic Forum. That's right, we were in Davos, Switzerland, right? Is that Switzerland? I think so. All right, great. Love the comments. By the way, someone else said, whoa, giving Texas tea. Yeah, the Texas tea for sure. All right. So Carol Tucker Molette asks, what was the first portrait you sold? So there was portraits that's a great question. There was portraits that I made, but the first portrait I sold, real quick, before I answer this, we're gonna get back to this painting of Post Malone. I'm doing it here in the live stream, but before I get back to the painting, I wanna answer this question that Carol Tucker Molette asked. What was the first portrait I sold? I do believe the first portrait I sold was of Beethoven. So the first portrait I painted was Notorious B.I.G. I didn't sell that one. But the first portrait I did that I sold, it was of Beethoven. And at the time, you know, Denny Dent had inspired me to do this style of performance painting. And I had seen one of his early portraits of Beethoven, and I was like, well, if Denny Dent did it, I gotta learn how to do that too. So that was one that I did, and I remember selling it to someone for maybe like $100. So there's a lot of really affordable art that I sold early on. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. Wait, is it coming? No, okay, no sneeze, all right. All right, great question, I appreciate that. These are the questions that I love. So if you have any other insightful questions, let me know. Let me show you this. We're gonna get back to this portrait. I am giving this portrait away to a member of someone in my Garibaldi Arts Club group chat. The only way to join the group chat is through the link in my bio. So the winner will be able to choose between this or the Morgan Wallen portrait, which is pretty awesome. So hopefully you have a big wall, and if you don't, just save it, roll it up, save it for something later. So, are you ready for me to get back to the painting? If you are, give me a thumbs up in the chat, and I will get back to the painting. Let me know. All right. Just give me a thumbs up. If you're ready for me to get back to the painting, let me know. Let's go check this. All right. Thumbs up. All right, I see a lot of thumbs up. All right, sounds good. Let's go. Let's get back to it. All right, so I want to just add a little detail to this mustache because it's bugging me. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to think about what we're going to do with the background of this painting. I think we should do like something similar to like maybe a dusk sunset, like a dark. Yeah, we'll definitely need a suggestion from the chat for the handprint color, but for the background, let me just add this little texture. It's been bugging me since I walked away. He's got an epic mustache right here. There we go. Sweet, all right. We still have a lot of paint to throw. Let's add this background. Let's do this. Before we do that, we gotta set up this camera. If you don't see me, I'm just off camera, pressing record on another camera. Story of my life. All right, here we go. By the way, if you're watching this right now and you are in my Circles group chat, I want to know how you found it. So did you come from TikTok? Did you come from YouTube? Did you come from within Circles? Can you just let me know if you're watching this right now, you're part of my Garibaldi Arts Club Circles group chat. How did you end up there? Just let me know. You can let me know in the chat wherever you're watching or within my group chat. Okay, let's get back to this. So we're starting with a bold choice of this orange. I want it to look like and feel like a sunset, a dusk. So we're gonna start bright, low, and it's gonna get dark as it gets higher. We're always leaving that space in between the color on the background and the portrait, that little black line that's in between. It's like what helps the painting pop out from the canvas. Okay, now we're gonna go to the dark gray. We're gonna start mixing this in. And you can see it starts fading up, fading down. Again, I'm always, even when I'm painting fast, I'm always conscious of that line between the portrait and the background. No matter what's going on in either one, that line between, if it's what I want, then it'll just help it pop out from the background. All right, let's go over here. Let's add that same gray, but I still want the yellow to go around the rim. Now we're adding the black. This will really help it blend. And you know what we'll do? We'll do a little bit of orange, or actually purple in the sky. We'll mix the black into that just to give it a real true dusk look. I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking about like, where is this person? This portrait. Where are they at? And it feels like Post Malone is outside. It's dusk. Let's bring some of that purple in. Let's go back and get some of that purple coming down in the background. All right, now I'm gonna add a little bit of that purple into the hat. By the way, it's kind of like practice tonight because I'm going to be painting this live at my event tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow, Saturday in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So shout out to Brad Miller. He used to play for the Sacramento Kings. We're still close friends, and I'm going to go to Fort Wayne to support his gala, to support the Big Brothers Big Sisters in Fort Wayne. Look at that. There we go. All right, it's coming to life. What do you guys think? Let me know below in the comments. Gonna add some details with the hands. Sometimes the hands can do what the brushes can't. All right, let's do some more. We're gonna move this camera. Give me 1 second. I'm just off camera. There we go. I'm just gonna move this across. Let's go get some black paint. By the way, those of you wondering what's happening, yes, I'm painting this for the live stream, but I'm also recording the content that you see across my channels as well. Let's get some more black. All right, let's do this. We're gonna, before we end this painting, I wanna know what color I should do the final handprint. So I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna ask my group chat. Did you ask the Circles group chat?
You were saying it already.
All right, so I see purple. Someone just said purple. What color should I do my final handprint with for this painting? If you want to take a look, take a look. Here's the portrait. It's coming to life live.
We're gonna submit back to HQ to pick this winner.
And then we're also gonna pick the winner right now as well. So stay tuned. We're gonna pick a winner you can choose between this portrait and the Morgan Wallen portrait. And the reason I'm doing this giveaway is not just because it's Thursday, but because we made it to over 1,000 people in my Garibaldi Arts Club group chat. So, because I appreciate the people who took the time to be there and to be part of this community, and that's why we're doing this giveaway. I see some suggestions on the color of the handprint I should do.
So we have in here maroon, green, blue, purple.
Is the Instagram still going live? Is it still live on Instagram? All right, so I see purple, I see yellow. Okay, good. Good, because I can't read the comments anymore. You just do one thing over here. See if I can read these comments. Window. There we go. All right. Now I can see some more comments. Okay. Now we have 1,081 people in the group chat. So thank you, Jordan Escamilla, for the update. We're looking for colors. I see someone that says it should be green. I see purple. I see a lot of purple. Let's go everyone purple. That's what Keefe's Closet said. Let's see. So someone said, found me on Facebook. Appreciate that. What color should I do my final handprint with? You let me know. Jeffrey McCain watching on YouTube, thank you. JTM365, I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Let me see if I can shout out anyone else just going through some of these comments. Ren Mars, thank you for the love. Jeff, I think it's Alspa, welcome, appreciate it. All right. So I see a lot of purple. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I see a lot of purple. We're gonna do the final handprint as purple. So take a quick look at this portrait. So two things right now before I do the final handprint is this. One, we're gonna do the purple because you guys voted purple and I think that's fun. I think it's a great choice. Also, we're gonna give away this painting. We're asking for the final name right now to be chosen. It's gonna be chosen at random. The winner of this portrait, or you can choose the Morgan Wallen portrait, it's gonna be chosen at random. So before we get off, I'm gonna go finish this painting and then I will have a name to announce the winner of this giveaway. If you wanna enter future giveaways, go join the group chat. And on top of that, not only are you entered to win, you get to join this positive, creative community. And also Circles will give you access to so many other positive communities, no matter what you're into, sports, fitness, business, all kinds of stuff. So, all right, let's do this and then we'll get to the giveaway. All right, let me set up the camera real quick so we can capture. There we go. Okay, we got purple. Y'all voted purple, so we're gonna do purple and get this purple right here. All right, just so, where's the camera? All right, just so you can see, right here. Wait, where you are, there you are, okay. There you are, I got the purple right here. Okay, we're gonna put it in front of the camera right here, just like when you see on the content. Make sure that there we go. I know you heard that. All right. That had that slap. Okay, just did the handprint. I'm gonna move this camera out of the way. I'm gonna come chat for a little bit. Take a look at the Post Malone portrait. You see it, you saw it done live here on this live stream. From beginning to end, blank canvas to portrait. We are getting the name for the winner of this portrait right now. We're pulling the name from my group chat within Circles. They're just choosing it at random. I'm not choosing it. We have someone behind the scenes choosing the name. Almost there. All right, let's chat a little bit. Hello, everyone. Let's go check this chat as well. Thank you guys again. So someone said name it El Post Mamon. I like it. Tino, that's you. That's what's up. By the way, I appreciate those of you who are on TikTok, because usually how these live streams are suggested is you're just kind of scrolling through live streams and then either my face or Post Malone's portrait pops up and you think it's interesting enough to stick around. So I appreciate it. But so far we've had over 1,000 people join us on TikTok, so I appreciate that. And we're about to announce this giveaway. While we're waiting for the name, I would love to shout out your city, state, or country. So let me know where you're watching from, your city, state, or country, so I can shout you out. Again, thank you, Josh. Appreciate the love. JTM365, I appreciate the love as well. All right, on TikTok, I see Dallas. That's Panda. I see Eric in Yuba City. Welcome. Keep those cities coming so I can shout you out.
Danny almost have it for us.
All right, we almost have the name to announce the winner. So hang tight. I see Josh in Yuba City. Oh, there's 2 Yuba cities. I like it. TikTok Yuba City and YouTube Yuba City. I see Jeffrey in Sacramento. Welcome. Thank you. All right, let me give you another look at the portrait. I just did this Post Malone live during the live stream. It's still crazy. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. This one's pretty crazy. Like, the cowboy hat is pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how that usually comes out, like how it's gonna come out.
You did that one pretty, I don't know how that one came out like that, the dimension.
I don't know. I mean, everything kind of worked. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But this is the portrait that I painted during today's live stream. And then once we get the winner, we are gonna let them choose between the 2. I won't be live streaming until next week, because this weekend I'll be going away for a live show in Fort Wayne, Indiana. If you are near anywhere in Fort Wayne, Indiana, send me a DM. I'll get you info for the show. But the show is a benefit to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Fort Wayne. My good friend, Brad Miller, who used to play in the NBA and for the Kings, he hosts this every year. So I've been doing it on and off for the past 10 years. And so we're gonna go support the Big Brothers Big Sisters. That's what it is, Big Brothers Big Sisters in Fort Wayne, Indiana. All right, I see Navajo Nation. Welcome to you. Ted Digital, shout out to you on TikTok as well. Give you guys another look at this portrait from today. Mr. Post Malone. Let's see if I can watch the live on here. There's Big Brothers Big Sisters in Fort Wayne, Indiana. There we go, okay. Yeah, no, this is a fun one. I don't know if you've seen Post Malone perform live, but he is a true star, true rock star. And this was a very fun one. And also, I'll be editing this, getting it up by probably Saturday afternoon. I'll have this content done. Love all the hearts from Cleveland on TikTok. I appreciate you. Kiki Booty 916 Sack. All right, thanks Kiki Booty. Appreciate it. Casey Barber. So Casey asked, are you, yeah, so two things. Okay, we're waiting. Do we have the name?
Almost.
Okay, we're waiting on the name. We're about to announce the winner. Before that, who should I paint next? Who should I paint next? Let me know down below in the comments. So the recent portraits, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, Jelly Roll. It can be within that realm of music, or you can just throw like a curveball at me. You let me know. By the way, shout out to Ghana as well. But yeah, all right, we're waiting for the name. Who should I paint next? Just drop it in the chat down below. Let me know. Again, so far I see Pedro Infante, the late Bismarcky. These are all suggestions for the next painting. And here's the thing, it doesn't just have to be content, it can be anything. Let me know. All right, we're still waiting for the name of the winner.
Yeah, one little technical bit.
One little technical, all right. I'm not leaving until I announce the winner, just so you know. We've been on for an hour, 1 minute. If I need to stay here all night, but it's gonna come up soon. We're just waiting. All right, I see another suggestion. Jeff suggested Billy Idol, which would be really dope. I love Billy Idol. I got to see him perform live not too long ago. Alice Cooper would be really dope. I love that, Josh, thank you. Janis Joplin, thank you, Casey. Great suggestion. All right, check it out. Mr. Post Malone, trying to give you away. We were just waiting on a name.
I believe we're just confirming that this is not a winner that's won before.
Okay, we're confirming the person that we just picked did not win before, so we do have a name. We're about to announce. What's the name?
Julie Marie.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat.
All right, are you ready? Wait, not yet. I'm gonna announce it here first. Okay, we have a winner for the painting giveaway, and just so you know, the winner is, they can choose between the Post Malone or the Morgan Wallen portrait. And the only way they were able to win this portrait was just being a member of my Circles Club. So before I announce the winner, their name, if you want to enter to win future giveaways, or just if you want to join a daily positive creative community, no bots, no trolls, join my Circles group chat. The link is in the bio. All right, the winner, their name is?
Julie Marie.
Julie?
Marie.
Marie. Julie Marie. If I could write it on the screen, I would, but I can't. But congratulations, Julie Marie. You are the winner of either the Post Malone or the Morgan Wallen portrait. And if your wall isn't big enough, it's all good. You can store it until you have space. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This was the Post Malone right here that I made for today's live stream. It was fun as always. Thank you to everyone who shared this, hit the hearts, hit the likes, commented. All of those things are things that money can't buy. It is just love, and I appreciate that. You know, we don't make money doing this. It costs us time and money to do these live streams, and so the love goes a long ways, and I'd much rather have that than anything else. So I appreciate you guys. Someone said, do Snow the product next. So yeah, now I need to know what to do next. You guys can let me know either when I post this content or in my group chat. So, all right, I want to say thank you. Reading to the last. Someone's like, hey, someone that I know that their name is not Julie Marie. They, hey, I'm Julie Marie. Julie Marie, we're gonna find you. I'm gonna DM you on Circles in the group. But I just want to say again, thank you for watching. Here's one last look at Post Malone, painted live during this live stream. If you want to continue the conversation, I will be in my Garibaldi Arts Club group chat on Circles after this. All right, thank you, y'all. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week.